Hi everyone, in the last video we discussed what a counterargument is. In this video we'll be discussing how to create a counterargument. The first step is to research both sides, and when I say research both sides, I mean spend equal time researching both sides of the argument. Understanding both arguments will only strengthen your own. Be sure that you really understand the other point of view. Where are they coming from? Why do they think this? How does it work? But remember, this doesn't mean that you agree with it. When writing an essay, counterargument has two steps: the turn against your argument to challenge it, and the turn back to reaffirm it. This requires you to look at your argument as a skeptical reader. So first, point out any problems with your demonstration, such as that different conclusions could be drawn from the same facts, or certain evidence is ignored or played down. Next, point out if there are any disadvantages to what you propose. If you're proposing that the United States should utilize more wind power for energy, make sure you acknowledge that wind farms are often noisy and they ruin the view for area residents. If there happens to be one, acknowledge alternative explanations or proposals that make more sense. So why point out what could be viewed as a flaw with your own argument? Well, again, because we're anticipating any possible counterarguments and addressing them so that we retain our own ethos. After you figure out where there could be possible counterarguments, we want to do what we call the turn back. You're returning to your own argument, which you let your audience know with words like but, yet, however, to name a few. In the turn back, you're reasoning about the counterargument. This can be done in one of three ways. You can refute it, showing why it's mistaken, acknowledge its validity or plausibility, but show why it's less likely than your suggestion, or you can even concede its force and complicate your own idea accordingly. If the opposing argument completely undermines your entire thesis, this is an indicator that you need to go back to the drawing board. One of the biggest questions always is, where do you put the counterargument? There isn't one way to write an essay, so there isn't exactly an X marks the spot for where to address the counterargument. But you can put it in the introduction, kind of like a hook for your reader to draw them in, as a section of paragraph just after your introduction, as it comes up naturally in body paragraphs of your essay. I like to call this the tit for tat, or as a section or paragraph just before the conclusion. Counterargument is an essential part of argument, but don't overdo it. Too much counterargument can make your main idea seem unclear. Your audience might be like, wait, what was the point of this essay? It can also make you seem undecided. Again, counterargument is an essential part of argument, but you still need to prove your point. Remember, the burden of proof is on you as the writer.